Fred and his colleagues will try to bridge those challenges.
Peter, yeah, I want you to ask you to pick up on that. Why is it that American companies don't see beyond our shores?
Well, I think what's interesting, I've had this conversation with Fred Hochberg in our interviews recently on Bloomberg, is I think it still probably surprises a lot of people that it's 1% of U.S. businesses that export anywhere. And there's still a lot of hesitation on the part of small, large businesses to not look, to look beyond the U.S. borders because it's easier, it's simpler, and that's the challenge for the Export-Import Bank, for the U.S. Trade Representative, for a whole host of other policymakers here in Washington to sell American businesses, small and large, on exporting to India, on exporting to China, on exporting to sub-Saharan Africa. There are opportunities there. That will be one of the opportunities for American growth, certainly, as you talk and you look at what's happening right now. And they have made progress in terms of the president's goal of doubling exports by 2015. January was the best month ever for U.S. exports, a record. But those are some of the challenges. And again, part of that gets to the debate about trade, public attitudes towards trade, and simply the ease with which they've had an ability to target a domestic consumption here in the United States. Maybe now it's time to look abroad when previously American businesses haven't traditionally.
Why the hesitation? I mean, maybe everybody in the room already knows the answer to that, but
I think
why?
if you sample people, and there are probably some in this room who probably know this answer better than I do, but again, it's easier to sell to your neighbor, but there's red tape, it's complicated, or it can be, to sell things abroad, and you may not know that there is a market for that particular good, or a wider market for that particular good. I think it's simply, it's as simple as it's easier to sell to the person next door than it is to sell to the other side of the world. But American businesses are going to have to reassess that if they want to tap the kind of opportunities that will be out there in the global marketplace. More of the businesses that didn't think they could export or didn't want to export are going to have to consider that.
And Neil, maybe this is an audience wherein everybody's already involved in export, so they don't need to hear this. But for those firms, for those executives who aren't comfortable yet or just are dipping their toe in, what do you say to reassure them that this is a smart thing to do?
No, I think that the knowledge of the Indian market, that it exists, it's not a difficult place to do business, and I think that one of the great binders and the great catalyst for better trade and better cooperation, better human understanding is the power of the language. Nearly everybody speaks English in the current generation, and in the next generation everybody will speak American as you move